Perfect. Perfect. Perfect.
What is going on, everybody? I go by RB, and this is Philly Take with RB. If you are excited that Brett Brown is gone, smash that like button, hit that subscribe if you're new, and make sure to hit that notification bell so you are instantly notified whenever I upload or go live. And today we are back with another video, the first full day without Brett Brown as the coach of the Sixers in a long time, and I'm so happy. I just got done watching Elton Brand's media access the day after talking about the Brett Brown firing and everything else in between. Since I'm not a media member, I wasn't able to get in for a few minutes, but I found the link to the stream. I doubt anyone will be able to watch it now, and I even got cut off a little bit before the end because I'm not one of the cool kids, I guess. But I'm sure you guys are in the same boat trying to find access. But anyway, I will tell you guys everything that you need to know from that press conference today. I took notes while I was drinking my morning coffee and listening to it, and let me just say there were some interesting things said, good side of the spectrum, bad side of the spectrum, and in between as well. So Elton Brand was talking to the media, and the first thing he really said was pretty much, we are in a bad state of mind. We are pissed off about what has occurred over this last season, and really we know we're not heading in the right trajectory and in the right direction, and things got to change now. And really he just said it was a sad day for the organization letting Brett go, but ultimately it had to get done, and things really just need to be turned around. He just says it was time for a new voice, a new perspective on this team heading forward. He says a new coach needs to know how they plan to use Ben and Joe, and Elton wants to see that, and we'll talk about that more in just a few minutes. Keith Pompey asked a great question. He said, Elton, in terms of a coach, what kind of guy are we trying to bring in here? Which is what we've been wondering. Do you want a heavy-handed coach? Do you want a guy who's going to push the pedal to the metal and really get on these guys? Or do you want someone on the lighter side, or something in between? What do you want? And Elton Brand just said, he didn't really answer that. He said you kind of need to find the balance of the kind of coach that will be able to get to these guys effectively. But really, he just says he wants a guy who is going to maximize talent. That is what he stressed throughout this press conference. They asked him if Alex Rucker, a guy in the Sixers front office, I think he's the vice president or executive vice president, is he going to come back? And Elton said he's not going to pinpoint this on one member of the organization, and it's really not in his eyes. He's going to talk with the ownership of the Sixers about who will be returning. And by the way, he will be returning, if you did not know. I'm not sure in exactly what role, but I think he will still head the basketball operations. Somebody asked him, and I don't know the reporter, but a great question, says, Elton, what is accountability? You've been throwing this word out all around for the past couple months. What is it? What is it that you are looking for in terms of accountability? And he really just said, it starts with me. It starts with this entire organization. And really, we just need a guy who's going to come in and push these guys to their level, push these guys to the next level, elevate their talent, make these all-star players into consistent, solidified all-stars in this league, and allow them to take this team to the next level, to the next stage. But he also says he needs to be better in holding his coaches and everybody else in the organization accountable as well. And then they followed up with this question, and they said, Elton, how much of accountability is on the coach? How much is on the GM? Like, where does that balance fall? And like I said, Elton really just harped on it being a combination of everything as a whole. Like, everybody needs to hold people more accountable. I've been saying this every single year in every video. There is no accountability and discipline on this team. So I thought that was a good question. John Clark came in from NBC Sports. He asked a heck of a question, just really laying it right to Elton. Said, in terms of accountability now, because you were the guy to make some of these decisions, and we know that we have regressed, Al Horford, was that the right decision to bring Al Horford in? And Elton Brand just straight up answered and said, I'm still assessing. He said, it's puzzling how this team can go on the road and lose, and at home we're 29-2. He kind of avoided the question, but then I really respect John Clark for just coming right back. He said, Elton, I'm specifically talking about Al Horford. Was that the right decision? And that led Elton Brand to, have to answer the question. And he said, Al Horford can absolutely fit on a championship caliber roster. It is up to our next coach to decide how the rotations will fit and how everything will come together. But really, he backed it up. He backed himself up saying Al Horford can play on a championship roster. He didn't say the Sixers, but he did not say it was like the worst move and he was wrong for doing it. So I don't know. I don't know if Elton thinks that Al can still fit in this team. Maybe he still wants to move him, but that's pretty interesting. And Elton talked about how Boston was getting easy rebounds in this series, like I had said, and they shouldn't be out rebounding the Sixers. He said there was easy assignments that we had lost and missed, and that really can't happen. And he just saw kind of the energy level go down. So it kind of seemed like the voice was being lost from Brett Brown, and we all knew it. We all knew it ourselves. Elton Brand was asked how Ben and Tobias played this year and if they made the big steps forward, because this past offseason he said that they needed to step up and be those guys, and he just harped on Ben Simmons. He mentioned him a few times, saying that Ben Simmons' injury hurt, but then we're not making excuses. It's like he was making an excuse, but was not making an excuse. And really, he just said Ben stepped it up defensively, and his offense will continue to improve. And he said Tobias played like an all-star in the regular season, but not in the playoffs. So I don't know what that really means. Like, you have to play well in crunch time. So obviously, some of these questions, he's not going to put his players on the front line and just kind of burn them completely. But there were some interesting questions. Now, here's where it really gets spicy, all right? Somebody asked Elton Brand, are you worried now about your own accountability and staying in your same role that was given to you as the GM of the Sixers? And he didn't answer that specifically, but what he did say was that we need to strengthen this organization as a whole. It starts with me, and it starts with everybody, top to bottom. He didn't say owners' names, but I know he was talking about them as well, and he said, I will make the right recommendations, and whatever role pretty much that I'm put in, I will serve. And in the end, our goal is to make this team better and get us over the hump. That's really all he kind of said about that, but I thought that was a nice question coming right at him. What is your faults in this? He didn't really say that it was his fault for constructing the roster the way he did. I feel like he was kind of more leaning to how the guys were used, which is what I said. He tried to establish an identity. It did not work because Brett didn't put it in place. Howard Eskin, the common guy who's going to come in and ask a bold question, talks about I think it was Bruce Bowen on ESPN who had said something about Joe not being accountable enough and not having enough energy. And apparently he was in one of the Sixers meetings, and Elton Brand was like, I don't know what the heck Bowen is talking about, but he will not be invited to our meetings anymore. And overall, Joe has been ripped. He's been a leader vocally on the court, off the court, and he has been the guy for this team, really, and the guy that others have followed. So really, he said he thought Joe did a good job, and a lot of the outside noise is kind of a lot of BS. But I agree. I think Joe really stepped up this series and did all he could. So then Howard Eskin asks, would you ever trade Joel Embiid or Ben Simmons? This was like one of the highlights of the interview. And Elton Brand came out and said, I am not trading Ben Simmons or Joel Embiid. It is not happening. Either one. They will both be here, which is the big question. And I've said we need a new coach before we get rid of one of these guys. They will both be here. They will be here next season, and I need to do a better job of complimenting Ben and Joe. That is where he did take responsibility for his actions. Not getting a bunch of forwards in here, getting the shooters and the wings that we need on this team. And he just says, like I said, he said they will be here. It is confirmed they will be here. Eskin asked him, is everybody in touch? Like, what if a crazy offer comes in? And he really just said, they are going to be here. So I believe that. I do. And then just getting down to the last few questions, they said they were talking about the coaching search now. Obviously, free agency and the draft starts in mid-October, so it's a weird schedule here. Got about a month and a half. And by the way, we will have a coaching video out later this week, so be in tune for that. But they said, really, how much power now are you going to have with the coaching search? Because before, it was a combination of Elton and some of the front office guys and the ownership. He really said that combination did not work. It is going to be solely on Elton Brand now to go out and pick our next coach. I know a lot of people are pissed off with Elton Brand, but he's going to have full power of this entire search. So that's pretty interesting to keep in mind. And he really said, I will take full responsibility if we do not go out and get the right coach. Elton Brand was asked about the process. Ultimately, what in terms of the process right now, where do you think we are? Do you think it's over? Do you think we have done a good enough job? And he really just said, as of right now, no, we have failed. The process has failed. So there's some accountability from Elton Brand. And, I mean, yeah, he's not lying. I mean, just on the track that we were on and the way that we regressed, I mean, we're not. We are in a sticky situation. And like I said earlier, a couple moves must be made in order to get this team back on the right track. And Elton just really stressed multiple times that we need more basketball minds. We need more guys with the analytics and more guys really that can just analyze this game and put these guys in the right position to win. He said there's no timeline for getting new guys in here or getting a new coach, but he would love to have it done before the draft and free agency so they can help in those decisions. Overall, man, that's pretty much it. An interesting press conference, a lot of good questions asked. I thought there was some accountability taken from Elton, even though I would have liked a bit more. I'm not mad at it, and I'm glad that we are finally moved on from this whole Brett Brown thing and now can start the search for a new coach because we need to get that done. Enough of the process. It is time to win. It is time for this organization to do what they need to do to get us in position to win. But that's pretty much it. What do you think should be the next move for the Philadelphia 76ers? What do you think about Elton Brand staying in the front office? Give me all your thoughts down below. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe, and I will catch you on the next one. Peace.
Perfect. Perfect.